Hey guys, welcome back. We're here today again with Eco Global Survival, and I have smelting. Smelting was the one. So I did manage to find some iron ore. We're gonna be doing that. So let me see here. I've got a few seconds left on my rocker box, and 3.5 minutes left on on the bloomery. So we should have that done shortly. I think. Hope. Maybe. Please. Please. First, I want to do this. Edit. Still worth absolute garbage right there. Okay. Nope. There we go. We're going to head over here to the workshop because I don't know. Do I need windmills for this? Please don't need a windmill. Please don't need a windmill. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hell, is that other one too far away? Yeah, it is. Alright, but guys, I'm going to jump back into talk to my buddy Garth. He's on the other side right now. Or he's on Discord right now. Yeah, I'll be back in... Or... What am I trying to say? My buddy's on Discord, so I'm going to jump back into that to talk to him.
Okay, so I have an issue with how we are trying to normalize unhealthy habits and bodies. I have nothing against, like, I'm slightly overweight and I would love to lose some weight. I'd love to lose 15, 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that it's difficult, but I just saw somebody, it was some celebrity that I've never heard of, post a picture and saying, like, we need to naturalize normal bodies. And I'm like, that's not normal bodies. That is an extremely unhealthy body. A normal body is a mother of two that has stretch marks. And you know what I mean? Like that's normal,
Right.
that's natural. There's nothing you can do against that. But you just being completely overweight, don't try to act like it's something normal. Like, no, yeah, you want to be overweight, that's fine, but don't try to tell kids that you being overweight is normal. That's not. That's an American like stupid ideology. Like
Right.
I was like, I hate that our culture is this way. Like
I mean,
there was
I
actually
get what you're saying.
the wife was talking about a patient today that he was so overweight. He was only 30 something years old, but so overweight and swollen that his penis got sucked into his body, and they had to surgically cut and try to, like, obviously it got infected and all sorts of issues. They had to go in surgically to get it out so he can continue to urinate and I'm like, what is wrong with our society?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think a lot of it has to do with like mental health though too. Not all of it, obviously, but I feel like there's a lot of unaddressed mental health issues, and I think some people are just so conscious, words are hard,
But what's
that they
interesting
don't
though,
work out or whatever.
but what's interesting is, why is it that this is a relatively new thing? I'm not saying obesity is a relatively new thing.
Right.
I'm saying the percentage of population.
I can give you a culinary take on it, and it is honestly um, our food. Our food has changed so drastically in the last 100 years that problems
Right.
we never would have thought of before are becoming much more relevant. And they're prevalent. Sorry, not relevant. We're encountering
Yeah.
issues that our ancestors never would have even thought possible because, you know,
Well, I understand that with processed food and the ease of it's obviously it's more expensive to buy decent quality food than it is to buy fucking ramen noodles and
it's not even that,
Twinkies.
man. It's the how common food is.
The
It's
abundance.
yeah, historically have had to work for, like if you wanted to eat, you had to go out and find your food. You had to collect it. We don't do that anymore. It's, yes, the
Well, I mean,
processed food has
I'm
a
not even,
big,
but I'm not even talking hundreds of. I'm talking like, look at the 50s and 60s. I'm not even 70s and 80s. It's it.
But I
I'm
mean,
not
it
saying
has,
like,
it's a new thing.
but if you look back at that and then you look at the photographs we have from, say, the 1800s, like the late 1800s, early 1900s, you can notice that the trend was starting even then. Like the abundance of
mhm.
Oh,
food
there was
since
a difference though. Like you
refrigeration.
said, the rich actually took it as a sign of being wealthy, being fat
Yeah,
for a long time. But
there was
like
that.
even modern 40, 50, well, I guess now like 50, 60 years ago. I keep forgetting it's 2020, 2021.
God.
But, during the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, I'm not saying there was no fat people. I'm saying a drastic amount of people compared to now, because now we're teaching kids that it's okay to be fat. It's okay to
But
eat
I mean,
everything on your plate and have dessert every single day and sit on your ass and watch TV the rest of the night.
but look at
Like,
everything else that is being acceptable now. You know, like everything is acceptable. Anything and
and
everything.
and same with like what you were talking about with the mental health thing. Like, are we
Hmm.
less mentally strong than we were in the 60s and 70s? I can't imagine that life should be easier now of anything because of technology. You know what I mean? And we're, as a society, I think we're worse off than we were, and I wonder
Right.
why that is. I'm not
Yeah.
an expert in the field, but I'm not saying
Hmm.
mental health. Obviously, I'm a huge advocate of mental health.
Yeah.
But like, why are we doing so much worse? We should be doing so much better. And as a society, I think we're doing worse physically and mentally than we ever have. Like, why is
I
that?
I think it does though have like it plays technology does play a big role with it though, because like people aren't as social or going out as, going out and doing things as much as they would have. Like it was more common for, and not saying like you, because I know you do things, but like you aren't going to friends' house all the time or, being as social, you could just hide behind your computer.
That's the thing though. Like, it's not like the stuff that was available in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s is gone. You can still go out and do the same shit. Kids can still go to the park and play basketball all goddamn night.
Right.
And it comes down to personal choices and parenting, obviously, to force your
Hmm.
children to do that,
Yeah.
which is what happened when I was a kid too. Like, I've obviously video gaming's been around since the 70s, 80s, and
Right.
obviously it took a huge prime in the 80s with NES, but like, I wasn't allowed to play video games until it got dark and after dinner.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I was raised.
And see,
Like, I was not
Yep.
ours,
allowed to come inside at all. Inside was off limits until it got dark. When it got dark, I came in.
as I was saying, see, we
Yeah.
were a little different in that. Like, it was a little more relaxed. But I do remember, being out and just generally being outside more. But
Hmm.
I almost wonder if part of the reason that became less common was, and Garth, I know you probably remember the stories when we were kids. It seemed like everybody and their dog had some story about, kids being taken off, or kids disappearing or whatever.
Mm.
Like the
Yeah.
stories were really common back then, and I think a lot of people got scared. In all honesty,
Hmm.
they're
Yeah.
Well,
afraid
I
to
think
let their kids out and
I
about.
think everything comes down to parenting. I think that's honestly what everything comes down to is parenting. Is now, like, you have to find the balance between being nice to your kids and being mean for a purpose, to teach your kids a lesson, to toughen them up. Like,
Hmm.
I call my son, I get mad at him every once in a while. I call him like, knock it off. You're being an idiot, or quit being stupid, or whatever the case may be. And the wife will yell at me like, he's 4 years old. Quit calling him names. And I'm like, wife, if he can't handle somebody saying a word to him, I think we're failing as parents. And
Hmm.
of course, he's only 4. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's
And
much worse things in the world than being called a name.
and see, as I
And
say,
that's how I look at life.
if it's something that, like, you were calling on that excessively, I could see it being an issue, but at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
because I do think there is a point there where kids take a lot of their self-worth from what they hear. They're a lot more
Mm-hmm.
susceptible to it
Oh,
at that age
absolutely.
than we are. And but
And
yeah,
I
no,
completely agree with that.
I see where
But
you're
there's
coming
a
from
difference
though.
because I call him a good boy all the time. Hey, you're being good when he's being a good boy. But
Yeah.
I don't reward him necessarily for just doing what is expected and what is right. Where the
Right.
wife does, and I obviously I disagree with that. I say you reward him when he does better than what I expect of him, or he does something, at a higher level, because that's how real life is. You don't get a
Mm-hmm.
raise because you met the standards at work. You get a raise because you're doing above the standard. That's how life works. Like today,
Yeah.
I gave him food and he doesn't eat vegetables. So I put vegetables on his plate and said, if you don't eat your vegetables, you're not getting ice cream. And he was very upset later on the night because he's getting so used to getting ice cream every single night. And I put my foot
Mm-hmm.
down. I was like, no, you're not getting it. And then I took his tablet away because he wasn't playing with the baby. And we were trying to cook dinner and stuff. And normally he does. And he just didn't want to play with her. And I took his tablet away. And he started throwing a big fit. I'm like, what do you think? That's going to get your tablet back? Like,
Right.
you throwing a fit. That's not how this works. And of course, that that is being a parent.
Right.
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
sucks sometimes. I don't want to see my kid throw a tantrum and cry, but that's what being a parent is. And I have relatives, like I got a large extended family, that they're going out on vacation with their kids that still live at home, and they're almost 30 because they were raised as my kids are my best friends. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's probably why they're still living at home working at Starbucks. No, I'm just joking.
Right.
It's just you don't.
No,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know. I think that's what it comes down to. Ultimately, it comes down to a lot of parenting, and I think our style has drastically changed. My
I
father
can
would whoop me with a belt when I got in trouble at school.
I
Now
can
that's
tell you
abuse.
absolutely the style has changed. Because there are things I can remember being a kid that yeah, you get the cops called on you now in a heartbeat. It's,
Yep.
okay, so I've got the bloomery built. I've got to put a floor in this fucking building. Because, somebody built their workshop without actually putting a floor in it because, hey, it doesn't need one to be considered a room. Because for, like, the carpentry table and the masonry table, it doesn't. But you need a higher room tier for the bloomery. So, yeah. That was fun.
I like the name Bloomery.
At some point, I'm going to figure out how tall a fully loaded stockpile is. Like, how many tiles? I think it's 5. So I'm going to dig down 6 down, and I'm going to start putting the stockpiles for the different things inside the workshop underneath it. That way I can just
Mm-hmm.
drive the cart past it, drop them off in the stockpile, and go on.
Fancy.
All about automation, man. Like
It's going to be a
that little.
giant pain in the ass to dig that with a shovel.
Well, yes, it is, but I also need a shitload of dirt to finish making my tunnel look all nice and smooth.
Ooh.
Again, like I was sitting here playing the game and I was like trying to figure out what I was going to do for my recordings, and that's the whole reason the tunnel exists. Is because like, why did I build my house there? It would have been so much easier just to dig out 2 squares of hill and put the road through it. But instead, because for one, the sand pit was too low, and two, I built my house there and didn't want to move it, I dug through the hill all the way and made a tunnel. I'm just that smart.
I like it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the tunnel too. I'm fairly proud of it. It was a pain in the ass to
Oh.
dig.
Oh, I'm sure.
Alright, that's...
Well, I've got a bunch of the crushed iron ore over by my base. You're welcome to grab
Alright,
and bring over to yours.
I may do that, I may not. Because like I say, once I get the stuff over here processed, I do plan on putting up a workshop over there. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get this stuff processed so I can get rid of the tailings and get rid of all the extra bullshit. Why is there a jaguar in my tunnel? Why is there a buffalo?
Well, I'm gonna head off for the night.
Alrighty, man.
So,
Take it easy.
gotta.
Okay, it was nice talking to you guys.
Was it? Was it, Ken's?
I mean, sometimes. It's always a delight.
When we weren't talking about Nat Geo boobies.
I just can't believe that girl did that. Shame on her.
You should
Put
do
your
it too.
titties away. No,
normal.
no,
Oh, free the boobies. They should all be
no,
free.
no,
They should.
no. They should
Yeah.
not
They should.
contain.
And you should be running on the beach while they're free.
Oh my God, no! What is wrong with you?
I want to see you tripping while getting punched in the face at the same time.
You are a delight. I swear. Some days.
Have a good
go
night.
Away. See you. Bye, half baked.
Bye. See y'all later. Or talk to y'all later. Alright, now that conversation is over, because what the fuck? Alright, I'm gonna put this in here, because like I was telling him, I've got to raise the room tier here a bit. Probably more than a bit. Yeah, there we go. Which means I gotta dig this out. You need to bring this back in here. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm not sure why my own cart would come up that I can't use it. But, yeah. The game's been running kind of weird today. Anyways, I'm gonna do this. And then I need smelted iron, which is why I've got to raise the room tier. Because I need to be able to put the bloomery down and it function, and it will not function right now. Storage. Why the fuck is it so difficult? Is that really all I made was 20? You know what, guys? Some days I just sit here and stare at this shit and it's like, I give up. I give up. Why am I too hungry to work now? Room tier is 7.8. I need 8 to use the bloomery. Yep, just gonna watch the cart float away. Damn. So pop you here. Boom. 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 Yay! That's what I needed. So now we take this, pull it to here. Are you close enough to do that? Yeah, I know you're out of fuel, but I'm more worried about storage. Um, okay, tell you what, for now, you go in here. Because I need you up here with that. And iron concentrate is going to give me this one. Ah! Oh. Chimney. Alright guys, I'll tell you what, we got smelting. I have the things going into the workshop. I'm gonna call it a night because it's actually very late here. I'm gonna get this one uploaded tomorrow. And I will see you guys back tomorrow from the time you watch this. And we'll actually get into the smelting and how to build like powered carts and things like that, and what we can do with engineering to add things to that. And tailoring, because I took that skill because I didn't know what else to do. And we've got a whole lot of stuff coming up that I'll be able to do. But for right this moment, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you're enjoying Eco Global Survival. Look forward to seeing everybody next time. Until then, as always, have a wonderful night.